Forget the mud, the grime, the desperation of a riverbed. The sound of today's gold rush isn't a pickaxe hitting rock. It's the high, glassy whine of server fans pushing hot air into cold aisles, while status lights blink like distant campfires. The most valuable mines aren't in the ground. They sit in windowless rooms where GPUs glow behind tempered glass. In 1849, fortunes flowed to merchants who sold shovels to dreamers. In 2025, fortunes flowed to the companies selling computers to model builders. The map changes, but the game refuses to. If that feels like a cliche, stay with me. Because when we follow the money through scarcity, logistics, and the quiet tolls along the way, the rhyme between the California gold rush and the AI compute boom becomes hard to ignore. Picture San Francisco as a market engine more than a city. The bay smells of salt and wood smoke. The streets churn with boots, carts, and shouting. Newspapers amplify rumor into certainty. Ships disgorge men who sprint past stacked crates toward the interior. Scarcity sets the price of everything from flour to canvas, and the arithmetic is brutal. Most miners never touch a nugget of consequence, while outfitters make steady money selling what everyone must buy. Samuel Brannon understands this before almost anyone, stocking tools and supplies, then amplifying the signal that draws buyers to his door. He doesn't bet on who finds gold. He bets that all of them must pay the toll to try. A few years later, merchants like Levi Strauss arrive and turn the rush's cash flows into durable businesses. Rail and finance empires grow in the following decades as infrastructure owners turn friction into fortune. The names and timing differ, but the logic stays constant. When crowds chase treasure, choke points write the rules, and the merchants nearest the gate collect the margin. Now swap riverbeds for data centers, mule trains for fiber, and sluices for high bandwidth memory. The nouns move, the incentives don't. To see how the machine runs, we need to open the box. A GPU is not a magic stone. It is a factory of tiny workers moving in parallel. And the factory only sings when the supply lines keep pace. Training a large model means choreographing tens of thousands of these workers so they pass messages in lockstep. With high bandwidth interconnects tying chips into clusters, stacks of specialized memory feeding them at just the right cadence. And storage streaming data like a steady railcar line that never backs up the depot. In the room, you feel the low vibration of fans through the floor and the dry chill of conditioned air on your skin. In the logs, you watch loft curves fall when orchestration is clean and stall when a link hesitates. A single chip is a shovel. A synchronized cluster is a quarry with conveyor belts, loaders, and traffic lights. None of this matters without the outfitter's town around it. Networking that keeps chips talking, schedulers that pack jobs tightly, cooling loops that sip and swirl through cold plates, and power, predictable, high-quality power that never flickers when you need it most. Above it all, clouds operate like the general stores of Main Street, renting access in slices and smoothing payments with credits, so exploration looks affordable and scale feels a tap away. The engine hums, credits flow, dashboards glow green, and for a moment, it seems like dreamers and merchants both can win. Here's the twist you can plot from a century away. Manias rarely falter because people stop believing. They falter when a dull constraint snaps. In the 1850s, loose flakes of surface gold give way to ore that demands water rights, sluice capacity, and capital. The pan yields to hydraulic hoses and corporate partnerships, and the solitary prospector turns into a wage worker or he leaves. The bottleneck isn't hope, it's access to the process that makes hope productive. Today, the dull constraints carry new labels but the same authority. Lead times at fabrication plants stretch. Advanced packaging capacity refuses to scale on command. High bandwidth memory supply tightens. Fiber routes take years to trench. Substations hit their limits and won't conjure another megawatt out of wishful thinking. You can almost hear it in the room when a hinge in the chain binds. A quiet aisle, a job pending in a queue, the soft click of a relay that doesn't flip because the capacity planner says not today. Teams that penciled 3 full training runs settle for 1. Schedules slip a notch. Clouds prioritize steady customers. Premiums appear for guaranteed slots. Finance decks revise throughput into caution. The spreadsheet still believes in your ambition, but the denominator, the time, the power, the parts, just got real. When constraints rule, profits migrate toward the gates. After the gold rush, enduring wealth aggregates where tolls persist. Supply, milling, water, transport. And those profits seed banks, railways, and universities across the next generation. In AI, the gravitational center is the stack that everyone must pay. The chip designers who define the reference tool, the fabrication and packaging partners who can actually build it, the memory suppliers without which parallelism starves, the interconnect vendors that bind chips into orchestras, the landlords of power and land who turn megawatts into uptime, and the platforms that allocate capacity with a quiet, sovereign hand. Prospectors still strike it rich. Some models earn their naming rights. Some products compound distribution. Some datasets can't be bought off the shelf. But the distribution of outcomes skews. Most experiments don't mint durable profits, while the infrastructure, priced by scarcity and defended by scale, keeps selling the essentials. The gift hidden inside rationing is discipline. Teams learn to do more with less. Distillation to trim excess, quantization to fit memory footprints, caching to spare tricks to storage, curriculum to feed compute the right diet at the right time. The effect rhymes with the 19th century's shift from handpans to engineered sluices. Process innovations move the needle when raw access tightens. Out of a squeeze comes craft, and out of craft comes reliability that outlives a hype cycle. The lesson isn't to sneer at prospecting or to romanticize merchants. It's to see the toll roads early and plan accordingly. In every rush, study the parts nobody brags about: power, packaging, bandwidth, memory, cooling, lead times, and the quiet operators who keep them alive. If you sell a tool, price your durability honestly. If you build on a tool, treat its heartbeat as your own. The California Rush builds fortunes not because gold is easy, but because the rails and depots and mills turn risk into repeatable throughput. The AI rush follows the same incentives in a new vocabulary. The mine has moved indoors, but the tolls still line the road to it. We live through a moment that looks new because the screens glow and the numbers climb. When you lift the panel, you find an old rule running the show. The shovel is compute, the gate is capacity. The profit pools form where scarcity stands. As the fans settle to a steady hiss and the LEDs blink their patient code, the question comes back the way it always does at the end of a rush. Where is the real choke point no one wants to talk about? Power, packaging, or people? And which one becomes tomorrow's toll road?